Welcome today to Talking Models. Today we're going to do a painting tutorial on Shadow Kreations' new release, Iconic Scenes Volume 3, the famous hypnotizing scene from the film Dracula. As you can see, she's a beauty. I'm going to kind of lift it over here in the center, let you kind of take a look at her. You can see you've got Van Helsing and you've got Dracula facing off, and it's the hypnotizing scene where he says to Van Helsing, "Your will is strong." And you all know that it did not work with this man. His will was stronger than Dracula's. You can see Jeff has sculpted so much into this. You've got the fireplace, the mantle, the caldebreras, the candles. You've got the bench, the table, if you will, that held the mirror when he discovered that he didn't cast any reflection. And you've got, of course, the flooring with the carpeting that is etched in. Kind of do a little hokey pokey with him for a second here. And you can just take a look at this as I'm spinning it. And you can watch 11 peekaboo through here, playing peekaboo with everyone. We'll go back on this side, and of course back to the front. Now there is an addition for this kit when they finally start shipping out in August. There will be a fireplace option where you can get the fireplace in here. You can get it with a lighting accessory kit, or you can just get it with the fireplace and the logs and create your own effect. And there was 100 of these in the first run, and there's a few left over, but I'll be making an announcement of that soon on Shadow Kreations. But today, we're going to talk about what I did to bring him to life. Are you ready? Well, let's go. I started by priming the complete kit with Automotive Gray Primer by Rust-Oleum. Once I had that dried, I decided to start with the base. There's just so much in this base with the carpet, with the mantle, with the sculptures on the wall. There's just so much going on, so I wanted to start with the base and get that project out of the way. So I primed the base and the wall once again using Badger Style-Res Gray Primer. I then base coated the floor using Sargent's Ivory Black and the wall area using Freakflex Body Bait Black. That way I had two different black hues going. Now, Freakflex Burnt Offering Red was used for the rug. I simply started dry brushing that on. And again, it's a process. There's a lot of details, so it will pick it up pretty quickly. And then I mixed it using Garage US Transparent Yellow Orch and Transparent Mars Red. That way I started adding some shadowing into the carpet. And again, it's a process of going back and forth with the washes, and then of course going back and forth with the main color. Then I came back in with some transparent yellow orch and hit the outer areas of the rug. That way, excuse me, we have some different colors going into this rug. And for the outside floor areas, which are on each side of the rug, I hit that with some Freakflex Grave Parlor Gray. Now for the diamond areas of the carpet, I used Freakflex Cursed Earth, and then I misted the ground area with using the Garage US Raw Umber, and then more misting using the Freakflex Red Tint. That way I was building up my colors, dulling things down a little bit on the carpet area, and just getting all the different colors completed. And then I came back on the base, and the outer edges of the base I painted with Anita Ivory Black. And then I misted the carpet once again with some more of the Freakflex Red Tint, Comart Transparent Rose Red, and more shading using the Transparent Yellow Orch. That way I had a bunch of different colors in there, and just making that carpet look kind of ritzy, if you will, and just something to kind of stand out in the base. Jeff put a lot of time into sculpting that rug. So, you ready? We're going to move on to the wall. I base coated that with Freakflex Body Bait Black. I painted the design area below the mantle using accent pure red. The edges around the fireplace opening was base coated using Freak Flex Hammer Horror red, and the design area around that opening using gold. The stone sculptures were dry brushed using Delta Serene Coat Mudstone. Now that areas around the sculpture, the wall area if you will, that was painted using Blackheart Grayscale Dark Gray. That way it was just, again, I'm just introducing different layers of colors and trying to keep things blended but yet stand out on their own accord. I shaded using Comart Transparent Black, Garage US Transparent Payne's Gray, and the Garage US Transparent Mars Red. And at this point I dry brushed more highlights on the sculptures using Blackheart Grayscale Gray. I then finished it up by dry brushing more gold highlights, and I introduced some Cursed Earth from Freak Flex to highlight to some of the areas of the face on the sculptures. And with that done, we're going to move on to the candelabras and table. I base coated the candles and table using Apple Barrel Black. The candelabrum stand was dry brushed using gold. The candles were painted using Freak Flex Ripper Red, and the flames were painted using Freak Flex Cat's Eye Yellow. Now for the table, I used Freak Flex Dried Blood Red, and gold was used for the designs on the legs and the table base design that's on the bottom of the table. And then I came in with some Freak Flex Maroon Tint to shade the table. And just like that, the base was done. On to Dracula. He was base coated on the body using Sargent Ivory Black. And then I started adding colors to the body. I used Freak Flex Body Bake Black for the pants. Freak Flex Turn Ghost White was used for the shirt and vest. And Freak Flex Sunburn Red for the inside of his cape. Now at this point I painted all the buttons on the vest and the arms of the jacket, the shoes, using Anita Metallic Black. Again, that metallic black just really pops out when you're trying to deal with something that's got a lot of black in it. Of course, like Bela Lugosi, his cape and his pants and his, the arms, the vest, everything. And this just gives you another layer of hue. And then at this point, I used the Apple Barrel Black, and that was used for the vest, and Garage US Pun 13 was used for the cape. What the Pun 13 Black is I've talked about it before. It's the Pun stands for Punisher, and it's a black with a simple hint of blue, and it's just a great color to add a sheen to the cape. Now, time to do some shading. I shaded the shirt and tie using Garage US Transparent Payne's Gray, and added more highlights using the Turn Ghost White. I dry brushed the chain on the shirt using gold and the rope on the chain using Metallic Black. I misted the cape using Garage US Iridescent Blue and Comart's Transparent Royal Blue. Again, just adding a sheen and a different look to the cape. Now, on his inside of the cape, I also used the iridescent red and just kind of misted that over too. Again, just adding a sheen to it and deepening up the shadows. Transparent black was used in the folds of the inside of the cape and sparingly on the outside of the cape because I had some bluish black going on and I didn't want to dull that, but just add a little bit of accent of depth to the cape. Now I base coated the face and hands using Model Color Basic Skin Tone, and then came back in and added more highlights to the cape. I was looking at it and I thought, I got to do some more, so I pulled out some Freak Flex Sunbird Red and I sprayed the highlights of the inside of the cape, just the tops if you will, and the handkerchief I also painted using that red. Now, back over to the face. I highlighted the flesh using Model Color Brown Rose. This was a new set I purchased, this Model Color Flesh set. And this brown rose, it's got like a rose tint to it, but yet it's fleshy. It's on the brown side. You really got to try it. I use that to put some depth, some shading in the creases on the face. Use it for the lips, below the eye area. Just a really good color. I'm really happy I bought this set. Freakflex Pale Flesh was then used to add more highlights to the face, and then I mixed it to complete face and hands using Garage US Garage Kit Flesh. Now I painted in the hair and eyebrows using Body Bake Black, and once again I shaded the hands and face using Garage US Transparent Mars Red, and the tie was done using Turn Ghost White. And again, that's your process. You're going back and forth with the highlight colors, with the shading, back with the original highlight colors to add, to subtract, to quiet. It's just a process. Now I base coated his eyes using Freakflex Banshee Shadow Gray. The fingernails were painted using the Brown Rose. And at this point I added more highlights to the vest using the Turn Ghost White. I then came back to the face with some final touches and shaded the face with some pastels. I then decided to paint in the eye colors, so I pulled out my Body Bake Black, drew in the eyes. Asphyxia Blue from Freakflex was used for the eye color, and then Body Bake Black to paint in the pupil. And just like that, the count was done. On to Van Helsing. Now I base coated the shirt areas using Freakflex Turn Ghost White. The vest was base coated using Delta Serene Coat Charcoal. The jacket was base coated using Freakflex Body Bake Black, and the pants using Sargent's Ivory Black. Again, lots of black on his suit, just trying to mix up them colors and distinct some areas more than others. Now that Anita Metallic Black was pulled back out for the buttons and the tie. That way again they kind of stand out. And the shoes, I hit those too with the metallic black. I then highlighted the vest using Freakflex Dead Guy Gray. The jacket was highlighted using Garage US Pun 13 Black. The pants were highlighted using Freakflex Nair Black. And the chain was dry brushed using gold. Now, on to the face and hands of Mr. Van Helsing. I base coated the face and hands using Reaper Tan Skin, and then highlight it using the Reaper Tan Skin highlight. For his hair, I used some Freakflex Dead Guy Gray, and then dry brushed the hair using Delta Serene Coat Drizzle Gray, it's a lighter gray, and just to add the highlights to give him that old man look. Now for the lips and the lower eyelid area, I used the Garage US Tongue, and just kind of gently put that onto the lips and that lower eyelid area just to accent that reddish pink look we all have on our eyes. Now Freakflex Body Bake Black was used for the eyes and the glasses frame. Asphyxia Blue was also used for the eye color on Van Helsing, and Body Bake Black was used for the pupils. Now the fingernails were painting on Van Helsing using the tongue, and gold was used for the glasses frame. Originally I was going to do them silver. I was going to start with black and then add to silver, and I decided on gold to make his frames of gold. And again, you do some more highlighting and pastels to his face, and before you know it, the face is done, and as before you know it, the kit is done. So that's what I did to bring this beautiful 1A scale. Volume 3 of the iconic scenes, sculpted by Jeff Yagher and in a much more manageable scale than the 1/6. I am a fan of 1/6, but these just sit nicely on the shelf, and they are iconic scenes from the films that I love, the classic Universal monsters. So, if you haven't subscribed to Talking Models, well, guess what? This is your chance. Hit that subscribe button and you'll become part of the Talking Models family. I would greatly appreciate your support, and tell others about this channel. Tell them that it's a channel about talking about models, painting tutorials, kit reviews, And our next video, we're going to talk about some of the things that I use, a little glimpse of my bench, and also some of the tools from paintbrushes to airbrushes to cleaners to all that kind of stuff, and my paints and my display of paints that I have behind me. When I'm painting, that way they're just a spin away and I can grab the next color. That's coming on the next installment from Talking Models. So thanks again for stopping in today to Talking Models. Thank you for your support. I hope that you all have a great day and a great week. And as always, may the Lord bless your day.